Hey, welcome back to the Sancha and Sancho podcast.
What's up, amigos? And thank you guys for tuning in, like always. My name is Anthony. I'm one of the hosts of the show. And to my left,
What's up? My name is Cindy. And if you guys are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
yeah, if you guys find any sort of value out of this, you guys like anything that's a part of this podcast or the video, I hope you guys are smashing that like button. And make sure that you hit that little bell over there to get notifications every time we drop a new podcast like
This one.
So thank you guys again for tuning in. This week was another special episode, but before we get into that, we specifically couldn't do this podcast, and we are brought to you by the Farm Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We're also brought to you by Submission Nutrition.
And we are also brought to you by Legendary Car Care and the Barber Shop.
So definitely go check out our sponsors. That's one of the best ways that you guys can support this podcast. This week, we had the opportunity to sit down with another amazing guest. The crazy part about this one is he is incredibly young.
Yeah, he is only 26 years old, and it is absolutely amazing how much he has achieved and how much more he is about to achieve.
Yeah. So he is a custom jewelry designer here in our backyard, Denver, Colorado. And I think it's crazy because he's really planted his roots in a city that I think is going to be massive. So
Yeah.
very, very cool conversation to have. I am so damn excited to see where he's going to take this. So let's just get right into this. This was our conversation
With Christian Stone.
Thank you for giving us the time. This is amazing. You kind of had a little bit of a drive this morning, so thank you for giving us the time. It makes us feel good, so we appreciate it. So today we have Christian Stone. Ironically enough, Stone is that really your last name?
It's not actually.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I know. Well, I was gonna be like, dang, like it's kind of like meant to be,
Exactly,
but
right.
I was like,
That's
what
cool,
the heck?
though.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no, definitely something that I came up with a little bit further down the road.
Okay, I like that though. I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of like the fight name kind of deal. I'm really into BJJ, so
Yeah.
I get that. The whole name thing, honestly, is a lot more important than I feel like some people think it is. So that's great. I love that already. So
Appreciate it.
you're a custom jewelry designer, right?
Yes.
That's amazing. So I already have a million questions just
I
with
know.
saying that alone. So
Right.
before we get too deep into it, I just want to start in the beginning. So tell me a little bit how you, like, where'd you grow up? Did you grow up here in Colorado? Kind of what was that like?
Yeah, actually, I'm from Akron, Ohio.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't
nice.
move out here until I want to say 18, 19.
Oh, okay.
You know? And then I was actually going up to Sterling at a Northeastern Junior College.
Okay.
Nice.
And I was playing basketball up there, right? And then it ended up not, going out exactly how I liked it. So I ended up going to a watch repair school, so like a watch trade school. So like, I
Oh,
went.
That's kinda
got-
cool.
Started getting into the watches. So and then after that, it was right into the jewelry. So yeah, but
How old are
originally
you?
Akron, 26.
26. Oh, wow, dude, you're
Nice.
really, really young.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Wow.
like, well, we're all 25, gonna be 26 here soon. But
I'm
yeah, we're all
26.
26.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
cool.
pretty
So
killer.
that's cool.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So you went to a watch trade school. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
So it's like a hands-on full course. Like you have a master watchmaker that you learn from. So it was like a 2-year program, right? So
Oh,
you
wow.
had to it was like super extensive and like learning all the ins and outs of like mechanical watches to be able to take them apart, put them back together. So like that was actually my first business. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
That's very cool. Honestly, watches are so versatile. Everybody, I have a ton of watches. None of them are like crazy watches. Everybody has a watch. So that's super interesting. I think just the idea of jumping into jewelry itself, like how did you land that plane? Like what had even made you want to go to the class for watches?
For sure. I mean, well, what it was is my dad actually opened up the first high-end black-owned jewelry store here in Colorado.
Oh, wow.
And he opened
Nice.
in like 2010, right? So really I was kind of grow up around, diamonds and gold like that because he used to be on the road selling jewelry to different jewelry stores. So he would carry like a bag of jewelry and then like go to different jewelry stores and sell jewelry like all across the country, right?
What the heck?
Dang.
So like, after 30 years of that, he gets off the road, opens up a jewelry store, and I'm not like the basketball thing didn't span out like I wanted to. So I was like, how do I bring something different to the jewelry store? And I'm like, we got to get into the watches. I love watches anyways. Be able to add a watchmaker to the store, that'd just be cool. So that's kind of like where it stemmed from.
That's pretty damn
Nice.
cool. I didn't even know that was a thing going around and selling jewelry to jewelry stores. I just
Right?
figured they all like get it from like a plug, I
Right.
don't know how that works.
Right? From the black market. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how that works.
What's that's so interesting. What's the hardest part about doing that?
Which like the on the road thing?
No, like having your own store. Like where do you guys even source any of this? Like that doesn't really make sense to me.
I mean, it's a connection based industry. You definitely have to know, who to go to for, the diamonds, the quality of diamonds, and make sure everything is on the up and up. But yeah, I mean, him being in the industry for 30 years, I just looked at it as an opportunity, because what it was, we kind of specialize in custom jewelry anyways, but it was kind of like more limited, to more traditional stuff, like, the stuff you see in Jared's and like wedding rings and, just regular traditional stuff. But we had just, ample amount of customability. So I'm like, man, why not, be able to have a little bit more creative behind what we're making rather than, just the basic stuff, and like be able to really dive into the design aspect of it. We gotta do something else, man. It's not working.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that's super smart.
Yeah,
Would you
super
consider
slick.
yourself an artist?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, right now it's still kind of more custom jewelry, but I'm working on a few things right now to where I'll start putting out my own pieces for people to be able to purchase and stuff like that.
Ooh,
So
like
it's
a line kind of.
Nice.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
Wow,
And
that's
where are
almost
you
endless.
guys? Where are you located right now? Like, where do you guys have like a store and stuff like that?
Yeah. We're actually just outside of Cherry Creek North, so
Okay.
it's a crossroads or Colorado and Alameda.
Ooh,
Nice.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so
That's a
it's
good
like
area.
maybe about 3-4 blocks outside of Cherry Creek North.
Nice.
That's a really good area.
Yeah.
I like that, man. That's pretty crazy. So you really haven't been here in Colorado for that long.
Right. I mean, I used to come like, during the summer months sometimes, because it was had some family out here, but just out here all the time. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I haven't been out in Colorado that long. Yeah.
Why did you
Right.
want to land here?
Right.
I really saw the opportunity, like I thought it was far enough away from other jewelers that are kind of doing the same things around the country. I was be able to have my space to where if I could hone in on what I really want to do, then I could like shine the brightest here, So like, I'm figured if you can figure out how to make it in like, where you're at and take that and it's just expanded like, a leapfrog effect, So that was kind of like the mindset of it.
Nice.
Because of
yeah.
basketball, did you travel kind of quite a bit?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, tournaments and stuff like that, like travel league and it's a tournament. So yeah, so it was a little bit of traveling involved.
I just caught you said that you saw that there was a lot of opportunity here.
Mm.
And the reason why I ask about traveling is because when we go out and we look at different, because I grew up here,
Mm.
literally in this town, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh wow.
So when we leave,
You're like, oh
I know, right?
gosh.
Sorry, maybe I'm
Like,
saying too much.
Is
Don't
that a good
judge
thing
me,
or a bad
all
thing?
right? But when we do leave, I feel like that's literally the first thing that I think of. It's almost like this area, northern Colorado, is just so young
Mm-hmm.
that it's just not there yet. But it feels like it's getting there. It's like it's wanting to be the next big city,
Oh, so bad.
and we're so damn close.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe COVID was the kicker,
Mm.
because so many people are leaving, like California. And I mean, really, if you're not going to live in a big city like that, where do you go? You start looking at other cities. If you just start heading east, the first thing you hit is like, okay, well, do you want to go to Vegas? Not a lot of people want to go to Vegas,
Yeah.
okay?
Right.
So then it's Colorado, or it's Texas, or it's all the way the other end. You're hitting like New York or
Mhm.
Florida, right? Those are
Yeah.
kind of the big major cities. But I think because of the fact that so many people are leaving from the West Coast, I think it's just a matter of time, man. So I think that's really cool that you're saying that you saw the opportunity here,
Mhm.
even like that was a couple of years ago. So
Mhm.
it is very interesting because I'm very curious to see where it's gonna go in the next couple of years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough,
I
but
mean, just from looking at, everything that's trying to grow here, it's like just so much opportunity, like, in every aspect that you look at, whether it's real estate or like the tech industry or the entertainment industry, there's so much room for growth.
Mhm.
And there's like space for it and the infrastructure is coming and like, different artists are coming to the city and people being more interested in Colorado. Like it's just, I mean, I just think it's like a perfect platform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, seriously, man. Like, I feel like that's one of the things too that we've always like realized because again, since we are from here and stuff like that, every time we even just go out to Denver or just here, like in our hometown, like there's just so much opportunity that like I feel like anything is possible, and so I don't know. So it's like really interesting to kind of like see your aspect, see your perspective on things. And I also saw on your Instagram there that you have like met somebody from the Broncos team. Is that right?
Yeah.
I
My
did see
my
that.
my friend OJ, he's a super cool guy. But that's the last piece that I did, the OJ piece. Yeah, no, that piece was crazy.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that. That's super dope. Have you like met anybody else that's like kind of like in the or like anybody like crazy?
Well, I mean, I have a couple more pieces coming out, just on behalf of the Broncos. Like, my guy, he's a lineman, Draymond. We got a piece coming out for him, and safety, Jamar. We got a piece coming out for him. But outside of the athletes, I got a piece with Trev, Trev Rich of Colorado. He's a
Nice.
rapper out here, and just a couple other artists in around the city, but still trying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working my ways. I've only been doing this for about like maybe 3 years, going on 3 years now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it's still a lot of room to grow. And be able to do exactly what I want to do. Still figuring out all the ins and outs. Of, building the relationships and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's been pretty fun though.
How do you put yourself in those circles?
Um, Networking, man. I mean, it's definitely a relation based industry, So it's like, it's you don't you want to have a personal relationship with your jeweler, more or less, you know what I mean? Because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
these are nice pieces, you're spending, relatively big dollars.
Right.
You want to have a good relationship with your jeweler. So it's like, my friends that I've met along the way have definitely been, help pushing the whole movement. I can't thank them enough. But really just getting out there, show face, finding events to go to, and just trying, pass out business cards, tell people what you do, and just let it come, man. You just got to stay hungry.
Yeah, hell
Nice.
yeah. Oh, I love that, man.
I know. I feel like that is really important though, like especially when you're like starting a business because it can be a lonely road, going up towards like your success or just, trying to like figure things out. And I guess like how did that like mindset like shift for you? Was it just because you were just trying to figure out something like after, college and like going through like basketball and stuff like that? Was that just the time that kind of just changed for you there?
Honestly, yeah, because I mean, I took like it's been basketball the whole time. Like every kid's dream, growing up back then was like, trying to get into the NBA, right? So I mean, I was took the same ambition and the same hunger, the same drive, and just took it, towards something else. And I've been, relatively creative. I would like to say so, since I
Mhm.
was like younger. So like once I found like something else to be able to put it towards and seen the vision for it,
Mhm.
I just was just as excited all over again.
Yeah. I know, and it's crazy too because I actually was like looking through your Instagram as well, and it seems like a crazy process to
Yeah.
like, from finish or from start to finish. And I mean, I don't know, like, can you like tell us a little bit about that?
For sure, yeah. I mean, that's the best process. I think like the most fun for me is actually the designing aspect of it, but even the process itself is still cool because it's like you have a complete stranger more or less. Unless it's like a referral. They're coming, they're trusted that you will be able to bring their vision to life. Something that they want, or maybe come up with something out of thin air that they will really like, and then we kind of have conversations. Trying to come up with different sizes, different aspects of it,
Mhm.
just trying to get a feel for their personality or maybe what the piece is for and like
Okay.
take that and put it towards the creation too. But I mean, first I kind of, sometimes I draw it out and then, I would go to my computer program, right?
Okay.
So then I'll actually make it in the program and we actually have a 3D grower, right? So you actually get to see the piece way before manufacturing, right?
Nice.
So
And
you'll
just
get
kind of
to
do like those final approvals and stuff.
exactly. Because, like, a big thing, especially with this industry is, not being happy with the finished process. And that's,
Yeah.
like, my biggest fear, especially.
You're like, dude, it's already done,
Right,
dude.
exactly,
What?
right?
What do you mean you want a different color?
Right, exactly. No, exactly. So it's like, especially, for myself, because I look at it as being like an artist, So if I put something out there, I want you to just be as happy about it as I am,
Yeah.
because I was excited. I couldn't wait to see the finished process just like you couldn't. So
Mhm.
if you're not as excited as I am, then that like brings everything down. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, like you should have told me, dude. Like I would have loved to change it for you, but you know, so you definitely want to make sure you get as many green lights as you can before you actually get the piece manufactured.
Nice.
Have you had to deal with that? With just like a super unhappy customer?
No, actually, I'm such a like so anal about the design before it's done, you know, like because I mean, you know, I like to design the back of the piece. You know, I like to take different characteristics of maybe what you do or whatever the piece is for and try and incorporate that into the piece. So I mean, like I'm so hands on the design, and plus you get like a final render of what the piece will look like even after the wax too. So it's like, you know, we're pretty sure about what's coming out, you know, as soon as it's done, you know.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah,
It's
that's
crazy,
so
man.
crazy.
That's literally something that's been around since like the beginning of time.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's always been like this status quo kind of like, it's almost like you're wearing like an ornament, you know what I mean? But it's like, it really does show your status. And there's something that's like really powerful about that, especially like nowadays. It's obviously like the whole keeping up with the Joneses thing is like, it's never ending and it's always going to
True.
get worse, especially with like, I don't know, people have money these days, you
Yeah.
know? So it's very interesting to see how people carry themselves, you know? Or like
Yeah.
you see the rappers that get the diamonds like in their forehead and shit.
Yeah, I
It's like-
saw that. I saw that. I think that was
like,
like
wow.
Lil Uzi Vert or something like that.
Yeah, something. I'm like, wow.
He got
Now
the-
that's a commitment to some fucking jewelry. So
Oh man.
that one was wild. I don't know about that one.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. So even like the fact that you landed on it so well, I don't know. For me personally, I think there's something special about like that drive, about finding something that you're passionate about, whether it's sports, when you're like a kid. I feel like a lot of people like forget about that drive of like really pushing to want to be better at something. And I feel like a lot of people just lose it along the way somewhere. Do you think that it's important to have the experiences in things like sports so that if it does fail, or not even really using fail as a word, if just being involved with sports, do you think that's important for the mentality for other people that are trying to be successful?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, sports is definitely used for a lot of different things and, you know, building character and personality traits. But I mean, as far as being an entrepreneur and like having that drive to be like the best of your ability, that you definitely get that out of sports. Like, you know,
Just like
it's
that competitiveness, you know,
Seriously.
like that just like,
like I got to do it. Like, you know, when no one's looking, you got to do it. You know,
Yeah,
when it's not working, are you going to put in the work in? You know, are you in the gym shooting? Are you practicing? Are you doing, you know, are you doing the back work?
yeah,
Because no one ever sees the back work anyways, you know. You're trying to figure out how to showcase the successes, but, you know, how much work really went into it on the back end, you know, that no
Yeah.
one saw, that you don't get credit for per se.
And I think that's what blows my mind because it's almost like we almost call it like a special case, right? Or like a 1 in a million chance, right? But when you see the people that find something that they're really driven, they always find success. Like no matter what it is, like even if it takes time, no matter what, there's obstacles, different circumstances, whatever the case is. But you find somebody that's really, really driven, like it's a matter of time. Like they're gonna make it. But it blows my mind because you see a lot of people out there that don't have the drive. And I don't know if it's because they just haven't found what it is that they're passionate about. How do you think you could give advice to somebody in regards to trying to find a passion?
Trying to find a passion, that's tough. I mean, because it's like I found that this was my passion after the one to try and do it, you know? Because it's like I thought the concept was cool and I seen the vision of what it could be, but it's not till you actually start doing the groundwork and be like, wow, like even though this isn't the fun part, I'm still having fun and you still find enjoyment in it. So then you realize like, wow, like maybe this is really my passion, you know? At least that was for me, you know, but I mean, really, it's just like I feel like even if you're not the most passionate about it, if it's something that you enjoy doing, like if there's other things that you enjoy doing, maybe better, but you know maybe you're not gonna find success in that. Like you know, find something that you feel like you know you see a vision for it, and then just go after it. You know, you might be passionate about it, you might not, but it's really like the drive and how bad you want to see that vision come to fruition is what's gonna you know pan out to be the difference.
That was an amazing answer. Because literally what I think about is like, I don't know if it's just like getting stuck in like the day-to-day job. It's like people are always looking for like, well, I don't know what I'm passionate about. Like, I don't know what I want to do. And it's like, well, would you rather do this than that?
Right.
Like, do you want to work at, you know, I don't want to bag on any, do you want to work at McDonald's? You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, well, it's a job, but would you rather do this than that? Like, it's not really that you're passionate about flipping burgers.
Right.
But if you are, would you rather flip a burger at this restaurant than this restaurant? And that could be literally the make or break of whatever success that you may or may not have.
I think the problem for a lot of people is like, unless you have like someone like a mentor, more or less, like someone you can see like close, like people don't really understand like it's really hard to do your own thing.
It
You
really-
know?
yeah. No, seriously.
Like it takes a lot of drive, it takes serious ambition, it takes, a lot of work, way more work than any job that you don't like doing.
Right.
Like you be like, oh man, this job is hard. Doing something like if I could take the same energy and put it towards something else, I know I could be successful. Like, no, you can't because it takes even more work than that hard job.
Yeah.
So it's like they have to overcome that
It's like
point
a
of view first.
catch-22.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you hate your job, but do you want to work harder to
Right.
not work there?
Right.
That's the question you have to answer.
But that's literally the struggle that catches people, I think, you know? But there is something special about that. I mean, we need people like that in this world, the people that work, at those jobs forever,
Yeah, for
we
sure.
need the workers for the companies or whatever. And we need the people that want to, work their ass off in the beginning when they're whatever age they are to build that successful business, like we need those little levels of everything in between. So
Yeah.
Man, either way, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like it's hard to work at the job for 30 years and
Yeah.
get the pension and everything you're looking for at the end of the day. And it's hard to have your own thing. Either way, it's not going to be an easy process.
yeah, choose your poison, right?
Choose your poison. Yeah,
But that's what
Yeah.
makes life so special, right? Everybody's path is so fucking different,
Right.
know? Something I really like to ask people, and I think it's very interesting how people answer it, is because it's kind of an odd question, but what do you think the purpose of life is? Like, why are we here?
the purpose of life. I mean, I guess the longevity version would be like to pass on education, right? Like information. Like that's the purpose, like to be able to spread happiness, be able to spread experiences, try and help life be a little bit easier for the next person. I mean, I think that would probably be like the easiest answer,
Ideally, right?
Yeah, but even like it's hard to do that. It takes a lot of life to figure out how to tell someone,
Right.
what not
And
to
even
do.
then, you're like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
man, I could have done so many things different.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
If
And
you could,
Sorry, and I was just gonna say, like, I feel like that's the beauty of just like books that are out there already, and like because that's just something that somebody already experienced, and they're just trying to pass along that message, or trying to
Exactly.
pass on those like failures or successes in life.
mhm.
What you were gonna say?
If you could go back in time, say 5 years ago,
Mm.
or maybe even 10 years ago, and just give yourself some advice, what would you tell yourself?
Be patient.
Dang, you didn't even think about it.
No, because it's something that I was actually just talking to one of my mentors about like
Oh.
recently. Like that's the hardest mental realization. Like it's one thing to like listen to it and like try to act it out like, okay, I'm gonna be patient. Like it's another thing to like really like be engulfed in that idea of being patient. Like it's hard, dude.
It is. No, it is. And I don't know if it's because we just have the worst combination of like the way that we grew up. We live in an age where technology has made so many things so much easier
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
than like, just for example, our parents, right?
Mhm.
They had some things a lot harder of a route to try to figure things out. When us, it's like I could pull my phone out and just Google something
Right.
so
Yep.
fast, or if I want to order something, like it's just the information is just so readily available. I feel like it almost sets us up to fail because we expect things
Faster.
faster so much that I feel like it fucks with us.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so bad. Like, and that's the biggest thing. Like, you have to like time. Everything takes time.
Mhm.
Like, if you were gonna walk from here to your car, like it's still like a 2-minute walk, 3-minute walk, and there's no effort at all.
Yeah.
Like everything takes time. Like,
Yeah.
and
it
especially
definitely does.
if you're trying to build something, forget about it. Like, you gotta be patient.
Mhm. And I feel like that's where it's like important to like kind of realize the things that you're good at
Mm.
at a really early like stage in life, because then you know what I mean, like just like building a brand, building a business, or whatever it is that you're like wanting to do, it just like what you're saying, it takes time to like get to that point or get to that vision that you're trying to get to. So I guess like with that, like what were some of the things that you have faced like starting up your business, doing this, that you had to like maybe overcome, and how did you overcome that?
Really, it's like, because I mean, unless you have like a mentor that's super successful and has grown a business, like, a lot of us people don't, have mentors like that. So I mean, you have to understand that there's things that you don't know, and you're gonna find out, and then you could find out about them in a good way or a bad way. But either way, there are things that you need to know. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, just overcoming things that you didn't know or didn't know to expect, and then just be comfortable with the fact that this is all part of the process. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to figure out how to just take it on the chin and just figure out how to incorporate that into whatever you're trying to do. Like, oh man, the mics, we should have had better mics. Okay,
Mhm.
well, the other podcast probably didn't sound so good, but now going forward, you got better mics, and
Right.
now someone's wondering, man, why do they sound so good? Well, you already went through the experience of the wrong mic,
Yep.
So it's just a part of the process.
No, that's powerful as fuck.
Yeah.
You can't know everything.
Yep.
And I think we call it analysis paralysis
Right.
because it's really easy to get excited about something, right?
Right.
No matter what it is, you want to buy a new car, right? You get so excited about it, but then you start looking into the details and start looking into the numbers and you get freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
When starting a business, that's really, really easy to do. You're like, you know what? I think it's going to be really easy for me to start this lemonade stand. All I got to do is buy some lemonade and that's it.
That's it.
That's every entrepreneur's first thought. Literally, in some sort, like that's how you think the business is gonna go. That
I'm
was us
guilty.
with this.
I'm guilty, dude. Like, when I first jumped into this, I did not think it was gonna be that hard to, like, get some traction and just start doing my thing. Like, it was way harder than I thought it was.
But like that's okay, right?
Yeah.
Like I think if you get stuck in like analyzing like, oh, I need to figure this out before I jump into this, or oh, I need to learn this because I need to be really good at this before I start to do that, or like there's a lot of things I feel like is the best way to learn is to just learn by either doing it wrong
Yep.
or just not understanding it and having to take a step back and be like, okay, what the hell am I doing? And I need to either find some resources and see if this is what I'm doing wrong or whatever the case is. But you need to learn some of the hard things on the job. Otherwise you get stuck in like the never just jumping into it. But I think that's the risk factor, right? Everybody's like, oh, it's so risky to start a business. That is a part of why it's so risky because you just can't know. Like you can't prepare yourself for everything.
Absolutely.
So that's really strong, man. Really good answers, man. I'm loving this.
I know. Yeah.
Where are you trying to take this, man?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a question that I play with all the time because, the vision is constantly changing off of, your interactions with stuff. But I mean, I think that I want to be, just the go-to jeweler, for custom pieces, figure out how to elevate the city, with jewelry because it goes hand in hand with a lot of different things that could put, a city onto the next platform. But, I definitely see the brand being, a reason why, something big is going on in Colorado now.
Okay.
I definitely would see it doing something like that.
So
Yeah.
Denver's the spot.
Denver's the spot.
Okay.
Denver's the spot.
And see, like, I feel like just being from like out of town and everything like that and like trying to like grow something here and not having like the full connections or trying to build out like connections or relationships, like how do you even like start with, trying to promote your business and trying to like get out there? Because like I know like that's a really nice thing that we have now is like social media and that we can use that to like our fullest advantage. But like other than that, like what are some ideas that you can, put yourself out there?
No, that's a great question. That was like a realization that I had, like, maybe 6 to 8 months in, was realizing like, man, I'm not from here. Everyone that I'm meeting, they've been childhood friends, what do you do, right? Well, like all of 2019, I was in the club like every weekend, like passing out business cards, figuring out who was the people to try and know. And like, it's really just the amount of work, how bad do you want it? Like using social media, figuring out, good people to meet, like maybe they have, their own business in the city. So they're a small business owner. Maybe you can figure out how to connect, but I mean, you just got to figure out how to get around it, man. Like, it's super important. It just goes down to how bad you want it.
Yeah.
Like it's always easier if you were born and raised there and you got, childhood connections, but if not, you still got to make it happen.
Yeah.
There's something powerful about just asking.
Yeah.
Right?
Seriously.
And I think confidence is key in like when we started this, you're even just asking people to come on the show. Like it's kind of like you like, hey, like give us some time. We just want you to. Sometimes it's kind of weird, but if you just ask, like honestly, it's really surprising how much you can get from just asking. You know, and everybody always, well, what's the worst that they can say? No. Well, that really is the worst that they can say.
Seriously, yeah.
And okay, like it doesn't matter. It's like, okay, dude, I understand. You know, thank you for the time and for considering. If you change your mind, dude, like hit us up. You know what? And that's it.
And just because they said
big
no
deal. Like,
doesn't mean that you know they don't want to do it. Maybe it just wasn't the right time.
And if anything, at least you planted the seed in their head, and now they're gonna think about you.
Yep.
Honestly, that's a win. That's all you need.
Yeah, seriously.
So
it's
that's
a long
great,
game,
man.
but it's hard to think like that all the time. You know, people get frustrated. You got to be patient.
Yeah, there we go.
No, that's so damn powerful.
Like if you're really truly passionate about it, they're gonna see it. You know what I mean?
It should like be natural.
It's gonna be natural. You know, like all the people, like the friends that I've made along the way who have really helped. Seriously, like it went from a regular conversation from one person who had drive to another. You know, and they see the ambition and like, man, I think this guy is a good investment. It looks like he really wants it. You know, I can get that vibe off of him. Just be natural. Dude. Like, you know, you got to believe in what you're doing, because if you don't believe in it, nobody will, right?
Right.
But I mean, once you get that confidence, is like, you know, this is what I want to do and I want to put effort into it. Like once you just put that energy out there, like I think this is going to be a good person. They're either going to receive it or they're not, you know. But a lot of the times, you know, they're like, you know, I think this guy maybe might be serious about it. I can see it on his face. I can see it in his eyes, you know, like, you know, excitement in his conversation, all of that gets picked up.
I love that.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. So I actually, a couple years ago, I sold cars. Yeah. So we have a little bit of experience in sales. So I think that's funny. Like you're just trying to be as genuine as possible. And honestly, like that's really, really powerful. Like it's really effective. When it comes to like selling cars, you got to be a lot more aggressive.
I know.
You know, and it's kind of a weird, it's like these weird vibes. We're at the dealership that I worked at, for example, they like have a car pulled into the parking lot. To be fair, everybody there, it was all commission only.
Oh, that's
so you don't take turns. If there's like a customer that comes up, it's not like, oh, well, it's my turn. No. There was no turns.
That's your fucking paycheck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's you and, 10, 12 other salesmen, and we're like fucking hyenas, bro, waiting for them to come on a lot. So they wanted us to literally, like if you pull into a parking space, they wanted us to stand at the driver headlight, wait for them to get out of the car.
That's different.
It's like it was one of the most uncomfortable experiences I've ever had in my life.
But it teaches you a lot, though.
It does. It teaches you just to fucking bite down on it. Yeah. You know what? Hey, I got to pay my bills, you know? And it's this savagery that you really need to figure out. But then on the other hand, like, because here's the problem. You think about buying a car, and everybody already dreads it because the first thought is that stupid fucking salesman.
Right.
I don't want to deal with that guy.
True.
Because that guy's going to be standing at the front of my fucking car before I even get out. And he's going to want to sell me something that I don't want. Right? It's always like this weird, and you have to overcome that, being that douchey guy somehow. But honestly, like if you were really, really genuine, everybody can see it. And me, I was young, dude. It's like, I'm trying to sell like a 50-year-old dude a car. He's like, dude, who's this kid? You know, but you have to just be like,
figure it out.
Just figure it out. Just bite down and just be like, you know what, man? Like, that's cool. Why are you here? That's awesome. Like, I'm not going to press you into buying this, but here's the deal. Like, let me try to do the best that I can. And if you just like break it down to people in the smallest ways like that, just being genuine, honestly, you can have way more of a success rate in selling stuff than being like the hardcore, like wolf, like
Wolf of Wall Street, right? Yeah. So I know it's like, I loved that you said just being like genuine when, being in those situations, or like trying to like sell your business to somebody. Well, not like selling your business, like you're literally selling it, but like, trying to sell your service to people. So,
and sometimes you can get really desperate too, like when it is your business, like you have a lot into it. And when you have somebody that feel like they're on the edge of saying no, and you're just like, I need this client. I know like this could be so big for me. Like this could be a game changer. Like, oh, I know this guy knows so many people. Like this could be it. And when you need it, so there's something special about that. But I mean, practice, right? It's just kind of just with reps. I mean, that's cool that you were going out and just like putting yourself out there. Just going. You said you were going to clubs and just try to.
Man. It was
have
crazy.
people
like,
see your face.
I was like, force like one of those things. Like, I would go solo. Maybe one friend, who eventually would get annoyed. Like, dude, can we just go out to have fun? I'm like, dude, I can't, man. I'm going out with a pocket full of business cards. I'm trying to figure out, which section to get in. I'm trying to figure out who's the DJs. I'm trying to figure out who's the owner. How can we maybe, come up with an idea, maybe promotional for the club, because that was like, the culture that I was trying to get into, with the custom pieces.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just thinking of a ton of ideas, but you got to get out there, dude. Like, I was uncomfortable. It was, just who goes to the club all the time just to do business, like
They're like, this guy again?
right, and it's like, you want to drink? Not really. I'm not drinking like that.
Right. Yeah, see, like I feel like a lot of the times, like when you are like starting a business, like I don't know, I feel like I've experienced like other people being scared to put themselves out there, right? Because they're like, no, like I'm not like confident to be like in front of a camera. I'm not confident to, like talk to people about this situation or about my business. But then in the end of the day, I feel like you're really going to be the only one that's going to be the one to support your own material.
Right. And plus, you got to remember, people like to support people that they like, So, I mean, if you do put yourself out there and it's, genuine and you have, good personality and you just click with people, the people are going to be like, oh, man, I know so-and-so. Like, you should go get in touch with him. Like, he's cool or, she's cool, whatever the case.
Yeah.
Like, people love to be able to kind of refer people, So it's just, you just got to bite the bullet, man. It's like super important.
You just have to make yourself a part of the circle, whatever the circle is. And sometimes it's hard, but honestly, once you find the circle, it's almost easier. It's like just kind of getting in, like, or just having somebody that you can bounce some ideas off of. Like, even that can be something really big. You said you have a mentor?
Yeah, I got a few mentors.
You got a few mentors?
You got to make sure you got some people to be able to bounce ideas off of.
How do you go by finding a mentor? Is that something where you literally find somebody like, hey, man, can you be my mentor? Or is it kind of like,
right? Or
like, dude, like you're successful, and I'm just kind of, can I ask you some things every once in a while? Most of the time when I find people that I feel like I can bounce ideas off of, it just comes down to just asking, like, dude, can I just save your number? And just kind of like, if I have some questions that I run into that are kind of involved with your expertise, can I just bounce them off of you really quick?
Yeah, so even outside, the club scene, there was still other, entrepreneur events that I'd find and try to, get to. And there were, a lot of just connecting events that, I found some people around 25, 26, same age, that were, trying to figure out same thing, trying to find connections, know Colorado is a good place to be at, but don't really know how to reach people. So they figure out how to throw a whole event, so it's definitely more, you're not the only one that's like you out there. There are other people who wants to figure it out too. And you just got to figure out, how to connect to those people. And again, it takes time, it's just something that you got to be patient about.
No, I like that. Patience is fucking key.
Patience is key.
It all just comes down to that.
Because at the end of the day, you have to remember it's almost a game of last one left standing.
Yeah.
Even if
like survival of the fittest is really a real life. Like it's real.
Yeah, it does. And it gets hard. Who's going to be the last one standing? That's probably going to be the person who's successful in that field. And I mean, like, unless you suck. If it's been like 3 years and like, okay, yeah, you suck. Okay, yeah, maybe you might want to find something else. But even if you start out and it's been 3 years and I'm like just okay, you can turn okay into something. You can turn that, as long as you have the ambition, you're still trying to get out there and get it. Because there was somebody who might have been better than you who said, "Oh man, this isn't for me," and then now you have a whole spot, and maybe it was one person away that you had to talk to. It's just a patient game.
Yeah. And have you ever experienced where maybe people weren't so supportive of like maybe the things that you're trying to do or you're wanting to do, and like how do you, I guess, like eliminate that in a way?
I mean, I guess because no one is like, super unsupportive. Like, dude, what you're doing is terrible. No one's gonna say that, right?
Right.
But there are gonna be different people out there who feel like what you're doing is cool, and then there's people who feel like what you're doing is lame. And even though I feel like it's lame, I'm still gonna say it's cool. Like, oh yeah, bro, that's cool. Keep doing your thing. But I'm probably not gonna come support. But regardless, it's your thing. Like, regardless of whatever the case, if you can find success in it, then it's successful. You know, you can't look at for others to like support your vision because everyone's going to support when it's, you know, taking off, right? And then and you got fans all over the place. Like, yeah, no,
I saw that actually on Instagram the other day. Saw like a meme like that.
Yeah, no one is. I mean, there's I can't say no one, but there's few people who really like. You know, I see your vision, and I want to support, and I want to, you know, go out there and push for you. You're not gonna get a lot of those
because everybody's got their own shit,
right?
you know.
Yeah.
And I can't really focus on somebody else. I'm trying to figure it out for myself, man.
Seriously, yeah.
You want me to worry about your problems? Dude, like, I like you, man. You're my friend. You're the homie. But, dude, like, come on, man. Like, and I get it because everybody has their own shit, and people are gonna want to support you because people are nice. You know, I feel like we experience like just like the blind eye, like the you guys aren't even doing anything kind of deal. You know, but everybody's got their own shit, so just focus on yourself, man. Like, that's so powerful. You just focus on yourself. Eventually, success is gonna be there.
Seriously.
And then the people are gonna come.
And then they're gonna come in droves, you know. And then you're gonna feel some type of way, like, dude,
Like,
where
how
were
did you
you
do this?
Right.
Yeah. So, no, life's a crazy fucking roller coaster, man. Like I said, we're just trying to figure some things out. 'Cause
Seriously.
I feel like it's a kind of a weird age. 'Cause it's like we're not really young adults, but we're not like adults, but we are. But like we're supposed to have a handle on things and supposed to have a fucking crazy plan, because it's like if we don't have a plan now, when we're 50, we're gonna be like, why did you have a fucking, like, what were you doing in your 20s? You know, like, you had so much time and like opportunity to just either fail and just get back up or fucking try new things, you know? And
Right.
that's where we're at, you know? We're just trying to see what it is that's making other people successful. And what's crazy is it's usually similar things. Like, everybody says very similar things as to why they got there, or their perspectives are very close.
Right.
So it's kind of been interesting having people come in here and tell us their story, because a lot of it's the same shit, man.
Seriously. And that's why, you know, it goes back to what I was saying, you know, just be genuine, because, you know, there's so many people out there who aren't trying to go do something, like start something.
Yeah.
So like when you feel somebody, like, I'm trying to start something, and this person I'm talking to randomly, I can genuinely feel like they're seriously trying to do something too. Like, you know, if I'm really, you know, doing my thing, I would just want to support that person because I know how hard it is. You know, like, if you're just starting out, like, I'm thinking like, man, there's some bumping roads that you don't even know about, dude. Like, I want to be there to help you out because I know it's going to get tough. You know, like, there's a lot of people who think like that.
But even like the other end too, like having an accountability buddy or somebody that can push you a little bit, like, fuck, like, he's doing it. What am I doing? Like, why am I not going out there? Like, why am I not doing this event to try to put my name, or, you know what I mean? Like, having that accountability is also really, really, really big. So that's great, man. I think, do you have any other question?
I think that was like just a great conversation overall. Like, I'm telling you, like, it was just amazing to have you come down here and just kind of go a little bit more into detail about like a little like preview of like how your mindset is, like how you've like overcome a couple of things, and, you know, even just like being from like outside of Colorado and just like coming here with that type of mindset and like seeing the opportunities that are truly here.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
it's
interesting.
just amazing. And
For
that's
sure.
something that we definitely need here, because I feel like Colorado is just so young, but it definitely has that potential there for sure.
It almost makes me think of like being a tattoo artist, but there's so many tattoo artists. Like, even here honestly, within a mile radius of this building, there's probably like 6 fucking tattoo places.
Right.
Literally just over here on the side of town. 0 jewelry places.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
hey,
huge, man. I love that niche. Like, that's fucking powerful. And I'm really excited and curious to watch you over the next couple of years.
Appreciate it, man.
And I think catching you in the early stages is fucking wild.
I know.
Because Denver's going to be popping.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I know it is.
I
It's
see
just,
it. It's like, it's so obvious to me. Like, just the way things are just, you know, curating. I think there's no way that it can't. You know, you just got to figure out how to get your claws in early in the city. You know.
Exactly.
and I think you're investing your time really, really well. I mean, we're so young, dude.
Yeah.
We're so fucking young.
Yeah.
And you starting this journey and being so balls deep in it so young is, dude, good for you, man.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you.
amazing.
I mean,
Congrats.
I appreciate you guys, you know, bringing me here. Like, cause I seen, you know, the podcast, and I seen that, you know, it was still, you know, a young podcast, but I seen the amount of effort that you were putting into it, you know, and that stands out. Like, it goes back to that same conversation. Like, okay, these guys are still early on the podcast, but it looks like they got the whole scene. Like, it sounds super clean when they're on the mics. They're asking really good questions on the podcast. Like, I can see that you're really into it. Like, this isn't just something we woke up one day and bought 2 mics. And was like,
Right.
So
That's awesome, man. Like, we appreciate that.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Awesome.
No, seriously. But we're genuinely curious. So thank you for coming on here, man. I think just explaining your story, I think it's gonna motivate a lot of fucking people. Where can we find you? Where can people go and learn more about you?
Christian Stone on Instagram. I'm working on the website right now. I'm gonna be releasing a line here soon, so I'll be able to tie a couple different specific pieces to the line to be able to purchase on websites. But right now, Instagram Christian Stone. I'm right there.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
I like it, man. Well, definitely go and find him. Shouldn't be that hard. Christians, I found you literally at just typed it. You were one of the first ones that popped up.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
amazing. Dude, the Stone last name, I love it. Keep doing your thing, man. We're gonna be watching the hell out of you these next couple of years. So.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I'm excited too. We're up.
Yeah, hell yeah. Good luck, man. Keep that fucking hustle going.
Yeah, hell
So
yeah.
we love it. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, amigos.
hell yeah.